Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Bionicle Inspiration series with your host, Captain Cossie. Today we are talking about pirate mocks. Yeah, that's right, pirate mocks. Oddly enough, I had this request I don't know, episode 10 or something. People were like, do pirate mocks. And I was like, there are no pirate mocks. I can't do this. And then I was like, are there no pirate mocks? And I was like, oh, it turns out there are pirate mocks. So I can review this episode. Yeah. I'm going to be saying a lot in this episode. Get used to it. So let's touch upon 3 really cool pirate mocks today. And as we do in the Bionicle Inspiration series, we're going to showcase these mocks to inspire you to build something in the future. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Also, bear in mind, if you would like to submit a mock of your own, or something that maybe your friend has made, or you have a theme suggestion, you can of course submit those, but more on how to do that at the end of the episode. So, me hearties, let us begin this episode with a mock by IGU. And this mock is called Captain Zohge. That's the one. That's exactly how you pronounce it. Sure. Alright, let's begin. So, one thing that I love a lot about this, and of course I'm going to touch upon this because pretty much all of the mocks in this episode have them, he has a peg leg and he's got an old pirate hook. Awesome. And something that I really like about this episode is we get to see multiple different ways of doing that. That's sort of a little bit of a sub-theme in this episode, is the whole thing of, hey, there's always a different way to approach something. So maybe you're trying to work on some design and you're like, oh, Jesus, that didn't work. Well, maybe the next thing will work, or the next thing will work, or the next thing will work. There's always a different way or a different approach that you can take. But very cool to see a hook design like that. Using the gully hook there is perfect. And oddly enough, using that Hero Factory shin there, combining it with a Baraki tooth for the bottom of that peg leg, works really well, works really nicely. And also really cool that they're both silver. You know, not really that much else sort of that is silver on this mock. So very, very, very cool to see sort of that color differentiation, because obviously on a real life person, a hook or a peg leg is either metal or wood or whatever, so it would be a different color to the rest of your person. So that's very cool and very nicely designed. Something else I really like about this is that cool shield. Now, I don't know how piratey a shield is, but who cares? It looks cool as heck. Something else I kind of like about this mock as well, obviously we're covering the old classic pirates with ships and boats and, you know, walking the plank, all that jazz. But this guy, you could kind of argue, he's a space pirate rather than your traditional pirate. And heck, maybe that's something you want to do. Maybe you want to not actually have a specific nautical themed pirate. You want to branch out and have a sort of more space pirate or any other pirate that fits your fantasy fun needs. Who knows? Maybe there's a different way to approach it. Speaking of a different way to approach it, I love how this mock has used a bunch of these Chima mammoth heads. Now, these came in one of the Chima CCBS sets. Some of them weren't released around the world. Some of them only had kind of a limited release, which is a bit of a shame, because they had some very, very cool pieces, very cool parts. And I sort of would have looked at this piece much like I would look at, say, a Star Wars Ultra Build human head and gone, oh, geez, how am I supposed to use that? But ironically, he's used these in a very nice way, sort of using them as a sort of kind of hat, helmety thing, things on the side of his shoulders, almost like he's killed these mammoths and now he wears them as a coat or some sort of prize. And that's really cool. It's a great way to sort of continue a lot of shapes and textures and colors with like the horns and all sorts of things like that throughout the mock. Creates a nice sense of cohesion. It's very, very nice, very nice. Another thing that's very, very nice is this custom head design. Very nicely done. Again, kind of fits with that space pirate theme. He's got a robot eye, and then he's got a normal sort of reptilian eye. And that eye also comes from a Chima set. It's a Chima Ultra Beast, not Ultra Beast, Legends Beast, Myth Beast. I don't remember what those were called. Here's a photo of them. But they were pretty cool. And a nice little addition there for a custom head. Very simple, but very nicely done. Speaking of very simple and very nicely done, we can see him using some old pirate cloth sail pieces there for a sort of cape thing. Now obviously a pirate himself, as we'll probably see later in the episode, would probably wear a cape because pirates are flamboyant and pretty cool. But, you know, having this on some kind of space pirate guy helps even more with that sort of evil overlord space captain vibe. So very, very cool. Again, using some lime in that too for a classic alien Captain Evil dude. Perfect. Great ideas. Lots of good concepts on this mock. So fabulous work, IGU. Let's move on to the next mock, which is by Railblade and is called Archboard. Archboard, yes. So what I love about this guy is just how simple he is. And I love that. Again, this actually uses a cape. This one is a Vizon cape, but this is used in a slightly different way. One thing I love about it is it kind of flows, the cape itself that is, flows up towards the top of the torso and then splays out at the bottom there in a sort of similar way to a sort of pirate captain's ensemble, and that's very nice. I like that. It's a nice way to kind of perfectly match that without having to, perfectly sculpt things with all sorts of plates and other various Bionicle pieces and panels and things. You can just actually use cloth to achieve what would actually be cloth in real life. There you go. So that's a very nice addition there. Very simple, very nicely done. Speaking of very simple and very nicely done, I love this captain hat design. Now, if I am correct, I believe I am. Here is a picture. Man, I've said that twice now. I'm going to have to do so much editing. Dang it. Anyway, this part here came on Drill Dozer, I think his name was, from Hero Factory 2.0. If you flip that piece upside down, man, doesn't it look just like a pirate hat? Very cool. Very, very cool. And it's one part. Very nice part use by Railblade here. Fantastically done. Looks great. And another really fun thing is, too, you get to just simply use a straight-up Glatorian head there as an actual head. Awesome. Simple. Great. That said, you could easily do, like we saw in the other mock, make a cool-looking custom head and put it underneath. Both would work really well. Pretty cool. Now, I've tossed the word simple around here before. Of course, when I say simple, that doesn't mean it's bad. I love to see simple mocks, but are still well designed, and this mock is a perfect example of that. It's just a simple CCBS build, but man, doesn't it look cool? Doesn't it have so much personality? He's got some pirate boots, he's got a hook, he's got a very, very cool sword with its little hilt and everything like that. Looks very cool. Again, nice and simple, but gosh, it looks like a pirate. It looks exactly like a pirate. You don't need to, have heaps of skill, heaps of talent, heaps of pieces, heaps of parts, all that jazz. You can still achieve a brilliantly designed pirate mock just with a couple nice part usages, using a cape, and even just simply designing some CCBS armor to look like pirate boots, and even kind of color blocking in some fashion. Obviously he's got his boots, he's got his pants, those are all black. And then the black continues up on his sort of coat, and then under that coat he's got his sort of, probably his button-up shirt, which is white, and then his shirt has sort of red sleeves and a bit of red on the front there too. And then he's got his little pop collar there at the back, which is also red. So very cool that the color blocking kind of works as a traditional sort of layers of clothing would. Very, very clever, good sir. So yeah, a lot to love about this simple but very effective mock. Now let's move on to our good man, Captain Redbeard Blindeye. He's me first mate, he is. And speaking of first mates, it's Dylan Neves, who's been on this show far too much, but he's far too good a builder to not be featured again. So here is Dylan Neves' mock. And again, we see a very cool pirate peg leg design, and this one's a bit more primarily system, uses, ironically, peg leg articulation. 10 points, fantastic, nice work. Obviously it's not intended to actually pose, there'd be no photos of that, but these palm tree pieces do technically pose, so if you really wanted to, you could have peg leg articulation. Who'd have thought? Again, we see a nice pirate boot. Again, very, very good color blocking throughout this mock. It's in a sort of similar fashion to before. I won't explain it in too much detail because it's all fairly straightforward and very nicely done. One addition I also really like, though, on this mock is the fact that he's used these tan CCBS hands. Because obviously, it's a humanoid pirate. It's a humanoid recreation in Bionicle form. And so using that, looks like skin. It's perfect. And something else that's really cool is this head design here. Again, using a Chima CCBS head there. Very, very cool. And it's funny because a lot of the hair on the lion head there, which is the set that it comes in, is a sort of lion figurine. It looks a lot more like a beard, a pirate beard. And it's sort of a little less obvious that it's humanoid, to some degree. It kind of leaves a bit up to the imagination, but I think that's actually pretty cool and pretty awesome. Who says that your head needs to be super explicitly, obviously a head? Why not play around with some pieces? Maybe something looks a bit like a beard, or you found one part and you can kind of use it in a funky way to look a little bit like a head. Why not give it a try, see what you can do? I think it's really cool. Again, we see that same pirate hat design there, but a few nice little additions like that bone and that feather up top there. It's really kind of like the icing on the cake there. It's very, very cool. Very cool indeed. Also, a very cool pirate sword. Again, nice and simple, but nice and effective too. And ironically, I think this is the exact same sail part that we saw in the first mock, and he's used a fair few of them to create this really very nice sort of pirate coat. Looks great, doesn't it? It looks awesome. And a nice little chain piece there, linking it in the middle there, just to sort of hold it in place. And also just kind of works as what would be an actual detail on that. Very, very cool, isn't it? And the one final thing that I love to see on this is the blue Rakshi pieces, the back pieces on a Rakshi, being used as the thighs here. Always a lovely piece to use for thighs. It just perfectly matches the shape. Just looks like it would be a part of a leg. I think that piece is almost sort of destined to work in that regard. So very, very cool to see that. And a very, very cool mock. And you know what? 3 very cool mocks from 3 very talented, nicely designed builders. So, if you want to see me, mateys, in the future, see some of the other stuff that these guys have built, then be sure to check the links in the description below, because then you can check out some of the other things they've done. And as promised, me hearties, if you want to submit some of your own mocks to the show, well, you can. You can check the links in the description, because there you'll see me social media. Yes, that's right, me Instagram, me Facebook, and me other one. Flickr, that's the one. All of them have various little personal messaging systems. The old ship in a bottle, no, ship in a bottle, no, the old letter in a bottle. You can send me an old letter in a bottle, the old carrier pigeon. That's the way you can submit your mocks, and I'll put them on the bis in the future. That's right. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you can put up with my pirate accent. And I hope to see you on the SS Bis in future. Pirates didn't call their ships the SS. That's modern, isn't it? I'm not a doctor. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for having fun with me, guys. I'll see you in the next episode. Happy building. Build some pirate mocks. I'd love to see them. I've been saying this since episode 10. Build some pirates. I want to see them. Send me some links. I want to see your pirate mocks. Happy building, guys. See you in the next one. Bye for now.